what should they expect? How long does it take? What's involved? Who's involved? Those types of things.
Yeah, so when we talk about the process itself, this could vary depending on the company, depending how huge is the company, the location, the line of businesses, the branches, because if it's like a really big company, yeah, probably it will require more time, of course, because you need to perform thorough analysis. But if our small companies are going to take less time, but in general, uh, you will, of course, need the participation of Salesforce engineers. And of course, at some point, you also need to involve stakeholders, subject matter experts to move forward, right? And at some point, also, you need a sponsor of someone that can provide the right guidelines or at least the support to move forward with coordination, misalignments, guidelines, and on something from the business. The process itself would be like at the beginning, it would be like a consultation. So you will go to the company, you will understand specific needs, goals, concerns, what are the pain points for them. That is the most important because you can focus your health check, let's say in security, but they are not worried about security. They are worried about automations or Apex classes. So it's really important to be aligned to the main concerns of the client. Once you have that part and everyone is on the same page, you can move forward to the data collection part. So in the data collection part, what we are going to do, as Salesforce engineers, we are going to gather the most detailed information about the current Salesforce setup, and we are going to check security, settings, configuration, customizations, data quality, and maybe even user adoption metrics over there. When we have that part, we will understand if the org is really highly customized. Because when you have like a standard functionality, it's easier to move forward quickly. But when you have a lot of customization, complex logics, a lot of integrations, Apex classes, you will need experts of subject matter experts from the business, from the IT department, from the client side that probably can answer some questions from the third-party company, right? Yeah. Then we will move to the security review. The security review is key. Generally speaking, like we are not serious with security, unfortunately. So we will
Well, you're saying
assess.
we are the clients very often are not.
That's true.
Okay.
That's true.
Yeah. We are very serious about security. Let's be
Yeah,
clear about
yeah.
that. Okay.
As a third party company, we are very serious, but unfortunately, the clients are not that serious, right? So generally speaking, you have a bunch of Salesforce admin over there. They can download reports, they can extract data. So it's like, oh my goodness, this is
Yeah. People
really
have access
dangerous.
to things they don't need access to. People can edit things they shouldn't be able to edit because everybody has the same level of permissions.
Yeah, yeah.
They don't have multi-factor authentication on. They're not making people change passwords. And all of a sudden, they're a high risk to having their data either corrupted or stolen, right?
Exactly. So unfortunately, this happens pretty often. And sometimes it's really painful because the companies, they have like security officers there, right?
Sure.
So probably they are not involved. I don't know what happens. Miscommunication, maybe. I don't know. But for us as the company, the third-party company that will help, we are going to identify those risks on security. Uh, for this part, it's extremely useful, the health check tool. So
Sure.
yeah, at this point, it's okay if you run the health check tool and anyone can do that. And the tool from Salesforce, it's extremely accurate. Of course, as you mentioned, we need to double check the password policies, the permissions, and so on. Then what is going to happen? We will run to the next part that will be a performance analysis. So the performance consists basically if we have some sort of bottlenecks and efficiencies in the org. So let's say that we have a report that takes a lot or a dashboard, data load times.
Mhm.
And at this point, we will also check the Apex code and the, let's say, flows. If they
Sure.
have a still process builders, they also should be checked, or workflows maybe.
Sure.
And integrations. Integrations, because integrations also are related to performance. So yeah, the performance is one of the hardest and takes a lot of time. Once we have this part completed, we will need to move to the next stage that would be a data quality assessment. The data quality assessment is also painful because, yeah, we identified that the data not necessarily is clean. And when we say clean, we are referring that also users don't populate the fields. So
Sure.
basically it's blank.
Yeah, so you're getting into adoption there. It's interesting you bring that one up. This is something that because of all the AI discussion in the last 18 months, all of a sudden, we've been talking about garbage in, garbage out for my entire life and yours as well. But what's happening is now everybody's talking about leveraging AI, and AI is going through data much more in depth and in much more significant volume than and faster than humans ever have with basic reports. So now it's shining a light on the data quality. So I see why that would be important to be part of
Ex-
this because every AI conversation we have turns into a data quality conversation.
Exactly. So basically, yeah, let's say that we have a company that says, look, I need to go to the next level. I really want to have my company using AI. And I don't know, also we want to use data cloud and move forward.
Mhm.
Okay, no problem. We will need to run a health check, but really focus primarily on data quality. Because if we don't have like real data that will support making decisions, yeah, this won't succeed, right? So we will need to do this carefully and thoroughly. Um, what is also reviewed during data quality? Duplicates, because the duplicating record is also something really
Mhm.
like difficult. You can have a lot of duplicates about accounts, leads, and
Yeah.
a lot of things.
Yeah, I'm always
In
surprised at how many duplicates don't get flagged by Salesforce's automatic duplication identification. I see this duplicate, but it's not reminding me it's a duplicate, so I have to merge, duplicate more data so Salesforce sees it that way.
Yeah, exactly. And we have like yeah, matching rule, duplicate rules that yeah, the metadata and the configuration is available right there in the org. So yeah, here after the health check report, of course, that we will recommend probably that you adjust your matching rules and your duplication rules. What else? Last but not least, I would say that we will provide like configuration and customization
Mhm.
review, because it's important to understand, yeah, the current configuration. So we will assess the current configuration and the customizations, but it's not, oh yeah, they have implemented this cloud, or they have this product, they have these feature licenses, these are the configurations. No, it's to confirm that those configurations and customizations are aligned to the best practices, right?
Mhm.
That is key because we as a third-party company, we know that. and we can guide the clients. And unfortunately, the clients probably are not sure because they don't implement directly, because probably they have their own resources or they hired another company. But it's important to confirm if those configurations and customizations are according to the best practices.
Yep.
After that, you are going to move to like a best practices alignment, because it's extremely important to, yeah, so far with all the previous knowledge that you already gathered from your review, that you can say, okay, based on my current analysis, I can say that considering the best practices, we can optimize this org based on this, on this, on this, and we can create a comparison table of the current setup with the recommended best practices, because this is going to be a recommendation, right? So we can create that. And then last but not least, as I said, user adoption. It's important. So it's important to take a look to your users. Maybe you assigned a lot of licenses to them, but they don't log in Salesforce, and you are wasting money. So we can deactivate them, assign your
Sure.
licenses to other guys, that type of things.
Or that might be part of your data quality issue. If you have users that aren't adopting, it could be, let's help them understand why this is important, or maybe we don't need that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So basically, yeah, we need to understand the why behind the behavior here.
Mhm.
And the tricky part about the health check would be the reports. Uh, I guess that most of the people or the companies, they think that reports, it's like a minor thing, but unfortunately, yeah, the reports, I found reports that are just created once, and they are not using the report, and that's it. But the report is there, so they have tons
Yeah,
of
all this
reports.
work was done. You want a detailed report that tells them, here's what's really happening and here's what you need to
Exactly.
do.
Yeah, and we can deprecate all these or reports you don't need it, or you have reports that basically they are displaying blank fields that you don't need it.
Mhm.
So all that information is analyzed, and once we have completed the whole analysis with this process, what we are going to do as a third-party company with our Salesforce engineers and Salesforce experts, we are going to put everything in a beautiful presentation and in a thorough and detailed report. And we will create also a recommended uh, plan
Yeah,
that, yeah,
remediation
or
plan. Yeah.
a remediation plan that you will follow, uh, of course, if you think that it makes sense, right?
Yep.
And yeah, basically after that, we will have a small meeting with the right people, because you don't want to have like a really big audience, and you will present your findings there, and you will explain directly the most important aspects. But the next stage is when you share the report to the client.